Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's Cone back here again today with another video, and today I want to talk about some of the amazing rookies that we currently have in the NBA right now. Over the past few years, we've been extremely spoiled as NBA fans when it comes to the play of young guys in the league. Players are coming in now as rookies, sophomores, third-year players, and setting the league on fire, putting up historic numbers, already becoming all-stars, all-NBA players. That's not typical. We've gotten used to that, and so it's led to some pretty high expectations, and I was expecting a lot coming out of this draft class, one that was touted as being really good. And so far, not only has it lived up to the expectations, it's exceeded them. There are so many players right now that are making a ridiculous impact, whether that's statistically, they're on really good teams and making a big impact in terms of winning, guys that aren't getting a lot of minutes, but when they do get the opportunity, impacting the game at a high level. So much potential has been flashed from the first picks in the draft to the final picks, and everywhere in between. I've been blown away by how this draft class has played so far, and so I wanted to go ahead and make a video talking about a lot of these players that have just been so good in their first seasons. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos, and let me know down below in the comments who your favorite rookie has been to watch so far this season. Starting things off at the top of the draft, we had Victor Wembanyama, who came into things touted as the greatest prospect of all time, or at the very least one of a few of them, and he has lived up to expectations so far. In very limited minutes at times, he's often played under a minutes restriction, he's rested on the second half of a back-to-back, hasn't been fully unleashed yet, and he's still putting up 20.5 points per game, 10.2 boards, 3.2 times, and 1.1 steals to go with 3.2 blocks, while shooting 47% from the field and 30% from deep. He's playmaking, he's handling the ball, he's scoring from all over the court, dunking on guys. Some of the most absurd highlights you've ever seen. Legitimately feels like a 2K created player out there. When people call him the alien, they're not kidding. He's playing like a 20-point per game defensive player of the year that can handle the ball from the jump, and it's crazy to think about. The way he's been playing so far is the worst he's ever going to be. Think about till next season when he's gotten a full year under his belt of NBA experience. His help is definitely going to get a lot better between now and next season, or at least I hope so, because the one blemish on Wemby's resume, I guess you could say so far this season, is that the team's just not very good, even with him out there, which it's not his fault at all. Wemby is playing some of the best basketball out of anybody in the league so far this season. He just isn't surrounded by a lot of guys, which is why the Spurs got the first overall pick. It's going to take some time to develop some talent. He's been building more and more chemistry as the season goes on. He and his teammates are getting more and more used to each other, and as you bring more talent in next to Wemby, not only are they going to elevate him, but he elevates everybody else around him. He's such a talented player. The second he starts getting heavier minutes and given free reign of this team, he's going to be an all-star, and I wouldn't be surprised if as early as next season, he's in all-NBA talks. I mean, he's already in all-defensive, even depoy talks. If this team was better defensively as a whole, he might even be the front runner. Like right now, Wemby has 47 steals and 134 blocks through his first 42 games played. Gobert, in his 2018 Defensive Player of the Year season, had 44 steals and 129 blocks. So he's outdoing him through his first 47 games. And Gobert didn't play that many games in that season that he did win depoy, but Wemby hasn't even played 50 games yet, and he's a rookie. He just turned 20 like less than a month ago at this point, and he's already destroying the league. Wait till he's unleashed, wait till he gets more help. When people said he was the greatest prospect of all time, they weren't kidding. Wemby's doing stuff that I feel like we've never seen before. If the team was better, he'd probably be an all-star now. He's going to be one as soon as next season, an all-NBA player. He's the definition of a unicorn, a player like we've never seen, and I can't wait to see how his career continues to go, because this is only the beginning. He's currently first in the Rookie of the Year race, but not too far behind him is Chet Holmgren, who was drafted last year, but of course missed the entire season with a season-ending injury. Coming into this year, he's a rookie, hasn't played basketball in pretty much a full year, and he's impacting the game at an all-star level already. 16.7 points per game, 7.6 boards, and 2.7 assists to go with 2.6 blocks, while shooting 53.4% from the field and 38.5% from deep as a 7-footer. He's been a really high-level scorer for us, one of our more efficient guys, one of the league's best rim protectors at the moment. He's top 3 in depoy odds, so Wemby and Chet feel like both future depoys. I could see them trading depoys for years, and they're in the same rookie class. Chet's also been incredibly clutch. Every time he shoots a shot in the clutch or has a chance to make a clutch defensive play, he's pretty much always going to execute. He's one of the biggest reasons why the Thunder are as good as they are, towards the top of the Western Conference at the moment that I'm recording this. They're the 1 seed, one of the best defenses in the league, and a lot of that is the play of Chet Holmgren. A lot of people try to say, oh, Chet's only good because he's playing with all that talent, but the talent that he's playing alongside is better because of him. The way that he stretches the floor, is able to draw on a lot of attention from defenses as a 7-footer that can score from anywhere. The way that he allows them to be the best version of themselves defensively and gamble a little bit because they know they've got Chet behind them. He's a special talent. He's truly completing this roster, has put everything together in just his first season. He and Wemby are the future of the big man position, and both of them are balling in their first season. Then we've got the guy who went second overall this past year in Brandon Miller, and a lot of people weren't very happy when Miller went second overall. Hornets fans were booing at the arena. The Hornets mascot dropped his head in sadness. I personally went on the record saying that I like Scoot Henderson as the second overall pick. I thought Brandon Miller was going to be good, but I was just a bigger believer in Scoot. But so far, Brandon Miller has been fantastic. One of the very few bright spots for a Hornets team that's going through a lot of issues at the moment. They're still trying to figure out what does this young core look like, but one thing they know for sure is that Brandon Miller is a cornerstone of whatever comes next. He's putting up 15.6 points per game, 3.9 boards, and 2.3 assists this season on 44% shooting from the field and 38.3% from deep, and he shoots a good number of them. He's been incredibly efficient from there, shown a great knack for getting to his spots, attacking downhill and finishing, especially through contact. Got a lot of athleticism. The mid-range and the three-point shooting has been impressive. The shot creation, which was a bit of a concern coming into the draft, has been really good so far in his first season, and he's played some really solid defense as well. Brandon Miller has impressed me in every aspect of the game, and as of recently, he's finding his stride even more. Over his past 9 games, he's going insane. 21.3 points per game, 4.4 boards, and 2.9 assists, shooting 50, 40, 87. For even a seasoned veteran player, these would be really impressive numbers, but for a rookie that's in a pretty rough situation right now in Charlotte, and LaMelo Ball, his best teammate, has often been out of the lineup, these are amazing numbers. It's no wonder why he just won Rookie of the Month for the Eastern Conference. I've been very impressed by Brandon Miller so far. Feels like an established, bona fide cornerstone over there in Charlotte, a future All-Star, probably a future All-NBA player. Love what I've seen from Brandon Miller so far. I hope he continues playing like this. I hope he proves me wrong. And Brandon Miller is one of those guys that so far is succeeding in spite of all the hate and doubt he got pre-draft. Going right after Brandon Miller in the draft, you have Scoot Henderson, who after a rough start to his rookie season, dealing with some injuries, inconsistency in a role, and the expectations of being the savior of Portland, has really figured things out as of late. Over his last 3 games, he's putting up 22.3 points per game, 2.3 boards, and 3.3 assists, shooting 54.3% from the field, 53.8% from deep, and 95.7% from the line, including a 30-point game versus Denver. The other 2 games in this stretch were against Philly and Milwaukee, both games that they won. Really good teams that Portland was able to take out in large part due to the play of Scoot Henderson. He's adjusting really well as of late. He's really found his groove, and I think we're going to continue to see this rapid ascent from Scoot. He's looking a lot more poised, picking his spots really well, getting to his spots really well, utilizing his elite athleticism, showing off some really solid shot making, some super contested buckets that he's knocking down. He's knocking down his threes, which is a big swing factor for him. I think he's going to be amazing. I've been on the record a number of times that I'm a massive Scoot fan, and he just turned 20 years old today as I'm recording this video, and he's already showing a ridiculous amount of promise and poise. It's just hard for young guards to figure things out. That's been a common theme in the NBA. I mean, take a look at Darius Garland, who by most advanced metrics was the worst player in the NBA in his rookie season. Now he's an all-star caliber guy. I think Scoot's going to be on that same trajectory, and I think his ceiling is even higher. There's another player who's also lighting up the league right now that is further down the draft board, and that's Cam Whitmore, a guy that was supposed to go top 4, 5, 6, at the very least top 10, but instead fell all the way to the 20th overall pick for reasons we still don't really know. Eventually, hopefully we get some reasoning behind that, because right now he's making all the teams that passed on him look absolutely insane. He's dropping 12 points per game so far and 4 rebounds on 49% shooting from the field and 40% from deep in very limited minutes. He's only playing 16.7 minutes per game so far this season, and that number has ticked up consistently as of late because he's playing so well. He has forced himself into the rotation as a really young guy on a team that's trying to compete now. The Rockets aren't in the play-in at the moment, but they have a goal of making the play-in and making the playoffs, and he's still finding ways to get minutes because he's been that effective. Let's take a look at his last few games. 25, 6, 1, and 2 against the Raptors, 17 points against the Pelicans on 50% shooting, 20 points in 18 minutes against the Lakers on 7 of 12 shooting, one of the teams that passed on him, 19 points and 9 boards against the Nets, 24, 11, and 2 against the Hornets, Cam Whitmore is making a massive impact. He still does have to figure out the shot selection a little bit. Would like to see him play make a bit more. But as a young scorer with high-level athleticism, Cam Whitmore is bringing a massive offensive boost to a team in Houston that desperately needs it. He has ingrained himself in this rotation, even though he probably wasn't supposed to be there in the first place. But these guys are nowhere near the only guys that have really popped so far in their rookie seasons. Thompson, also on Houston, is starting to get more minutes, going fourth overall in the draft, and when he's played, he's looked really good, has elite athleticism, incredible passing, solid defense. He is special. If his jump shot ever comes around, Thompson's going to be one of the better point guards in the league, and he's the future for the Rockets at that position, if you ask me. Ausar Thompson has been an incredible defender, one of the better wing defenders in the league as a rookie, and like his twin brother, has ridiculous athleticism, is a special rebounder for a rookie. Both of them feel like they can be great players for the long haul if those jumpers do come along, and they both provide immense value, and especially with that athleticism. If you want to talk about the best athletes in the league right now, I immediately would look over at the Thompson twins. Anthony Black has played some really good minutes so far this season for the Magic, also showing off defensively, has shot way better than I was expecting from both the field and three, and he feels like he's one of the future guys for them in a position group that was loaded coming into the season, but Anthony Black has definitely carved himself out a role in the future. Bilal Coulibaly has also been really good defensively. You're probably noticing a theme with this class. It's special defensively, but Bilal has been good in that regard, scoring more efficiently than I was expecting. Over there in Washington, a team that's going through a rebuild, he already feels like a core piece. Jarris Walker has thrived at his minutes as, again, a really solid defender, been more efficient than I was expecting. Not playing a lot over there in Indiana. It's a team that's quickly gone to trying to win in the moment, but I do hope they'll give him more minutes because I think he can really contribute. Cason Wallace has been integral for my Oklahoma City Thunder off the bench, one of the league's more efficient scorers, especially from deep, and again, a really high-level defender. You continue to see this theme. Another one, Derek Lively, been a great anchor for the Mavericks this season. He's the big that they've been looking for Luka, and he's doing everything they're asking for him as a rookie. He's dealt with some injuries, and he does have a bit of a foul problem at the moment, but he's a rookie big, and it feels like he's going to be a star guy at that 5 spot for them for years to come, and he and Luka have already developed a lot of really great chemistry. It's clear when he's the big out there, the Mavericks are way better. Jordan Hawkins has been lights out as a three-point shooter for the New Orleans Pelicans, which is exactly what they need. They need spacers around Ingram and Zion. He brings more of that to the table. Keontae George is a guy that I'm a really big fan of, and when he's gotten some minutes, has shown a ton of promise for Utah as both a scorer and a playmaker. Jaime Jaquez has been one of the most important pieces for the reigning Eastern Conference champions this season, as a guy that a lot of people thought the Heat took a reach on, but of course, in typical Miami fashion, they've utilized his strengths, they've let him play to those, and he's thrived in his role. He's been really good as a scorer, as a defender, creating for himself, off the bounce. He's great as a spot-up guy, very high-level footwork, some of the best out of anybody in this rookie class. Honestly, a lot of times where he feels like a Jimmy Butler light out there. Brandon Podziemski has been integral to the Warriors' success, is giving them an efficient 9-5-4 for a team that we didn't even know if he was going to play that much for this season, but he's found his way into the rotation and has made himself a core piece from day one. A lot of other guys down the draft board more too, like Nick Smith Jr., giving Charlotte some really good minutes. Gigi Jackson has come in when a lot of people thought he should have gone back to college and instead has impressed as one of the league's youngest players and has given Memphis some great minutes while they're dealing with all these injuries. Trayce Jackson-Davis has been really good for the Warriors as one of the last picks of the draft. Andre Jackson has given the Bucks some really good defensive minutes as a second-round pick. You've got older guys in Duop Reith for the Blazers, who went undrafted years ago, is finally getting to debut, has been a great stretch big, and has given them some of the most consistent big man play out of anybody on that roster. And I know as a Thunder fan, Vasilije Micic has come over from the EuroLeague to finally play in the NBA. He's a 30-year-old rookie, and he's making a massive impact coming off the bench and playmaking for us, scoring, setting up the rest of the team. His passing is some of the best in the league. If you want some crazy passing highlights, go look up some of his. It feels like there are so many teams that are currently getting really high-level production from at least one rookie. Some teams are even getting it from multiple guys, and that's rare. It's not often we see players make an impact like this right out of the gate. Not to mention, there's a lot of other guys that are also doing impactful things that I didn't even mention in this video. Drop some of those names down below. Guys that haven't played very much or even at all so far, and eventually when they get their shot, I think can be really good. Example of that is like Leonard Miller over there in Minnesota. I think he's got a lot of potential. It feels like this could go down as an all-time great draft class. I mean, already at the top, you've got Wemby. Chet isn't technically part of this draft class, but if we're just talking straight rookie class, he's part of that conversation too. You've got Scoot, you've got Brandon Miller, all these other guys that continue to go down the draft board, and you just take a look at the potential of them, and it's off the charts. This draft class, this rookie class more particular, is really special. It's great for the NBA to see these guys stepping up, especially, again, on that defensive end. I cannot believe how many high-level future all-defensive guys it feels like are in this rookie class class alone. A lot of depoys are going to be won between Vic and Chet, not to mention like maybe Ausar Thompson could do it on the perimeter. It's a special class. I'm really excited watching the rookies every night. I want to talk about them. The league's in a really good spot. I can't wait to see what these guys do the rest of their rookie seasons, what they do in their sophomore years, and of course for the many years beyond, because this draft class, if we look back at 20 years, may be one of the best that we've ever seen. For right now, though, that's all I've got to say about these rookies. Again, I know I didn't mention everybody in this video. If you got a name you want me to talk about a little bit, go ahead and drop them down below. I love to talk hoops with y'all down there in the comments. Leave a like and subscribe too if you enjoyed. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. And yeah, I appreciate y'all watching. I'll see y'all later. Real One, say it back.